Surpass Cloud can import MARC records provided to you by vendors when you purchase resources. You might also use this feature to import MARC records from your prior library management system, or perhaps to re-import MARC records originally exported from Surpass Cloud and sent to a third party for cataloging enhancements. MARC stands for Machine Readable Cataloging. It's the format used by Surpass for resource records and allows records to be shared between libraries. The fields and subfields that you see on the right contain information such as title, author, subject headings, physical description, and other important information. Surpass Cloud can assign categories automatically based on the call numbers of the imported records. Select Automatic for the Category option to bring up an automatic category assignment form. Here you can add call number ranges and the category to which you want to assign resources with call numbers that fall within that range. You can add and delete ranges as needed. Imported resources with call numbers that don't fall within any of the ranges will be assigned to your selection for All Others. Click the Save button to save your settings. These will be stored for the next time you import resources. In the Cost field, you can set a default cost to be assigned to any records that don't have cost information within them. When the Overwrite Existing Values option is checked, the new record defaults, vendor, fund, category, location, acquisition date, and cost will overwrite whatever is already in the records being imported. Normally, the MARC records you import will include barcode numbers. However, if there is no barcode information in the records, or the incoming record's barcode is in a different MARC tag subfield, then barcode numbers will automatically be assigned based on the next highest number. If you want to reassign barcode numbers when importing, select Reassign Barcode Numbers starting at. If you select this option when importing, Surpass Cloud will ignore any barcode numbers in the records and assign new barcode numbers, starting with the number you supply. If the starting number you chose, or one of the following numbers to be assigned is already in use, Surpass Cloud will advance to the next higher available number and continue from that point on. Note that the Reassign Barcode feature defaults to the barcode number in the Next Auto-Assign Barcode feature. This can be found in Settings, Resources, General. Select Create a Resource Collection for new titles if you would like to add the imported items to a new resource collection. Each time resources are imported with this option enabled, a new resource collection named Resources Imported along with a date and timestamp is created. The list of items can then be found in Resources View by a resource collection search or by using a resource collection in Custom Resource Reports. When you import new records, Surpass Cloud normally attempts to find matching records in your existing database so that multiple holdings of the same item are linked into one MARC record. The options in this section determine how and if that happens. Match records by barcode number tells Surpass to find matches by comparing the barcode numbers of items being imported to barcode numbers of items already in the system. This option is not normally useful for importing new records, but it is helpful if you have sent your records out for processing or cleanup, and you are now importing in order to replace your existing records. Match records by ISBN Tell Surpass Cloud to find matches by comparing the ISBNs of imported items to those of resources already in your database. This is the most useful type of matching for importing new records. Assuming that ISBNs are included in both records, ISBN matching is a much more accurate method of matching than title and author. Match records by LCCN tells Surpass Cloud to find matches by comparing the LCCNs of imported items to those of materials already in your database. The LCCN is the Library of Congress control number, a unique serial number assigned by the Library of Congress to catalog a book or other publication. Match records by title and author causes Surpass Cloud to look for matches by comparing the titles and authors of imported records with those of existing records. This is less accurate than ISBN matching, especially for series titles that might have the same author and many matching titles. When matching by title and author, it is critical to use the preview and approve step of the import process to make sure that individual matches happen correctly. The number of characters to use for title matching specifies a minimum number of characters of the titles that must be identical to be considered a match. For example, if you enter 10 here, the titles will be considered to be matching if the first 10 characters of each title are identical. Entering a number that's too low will result in too many false matches. Entering a number that's too high might result in Surpass Cloud missing some matches due to spelling or punctuation differences. The number of characters to use for author matching works the same way as title matching. If Surpass Cloud finds more than one match, it automatically selects the one that has the most matching characters. For example, it might find a series of a dozen books that have the same first 10 characters in the titles and in the authors. Of that dozen, it automatically selects the book with the highest number of matching characters in the title and author. You can tell Surpass to ignore matches if the publisher is different, the published date is different, the number of pages is different, and/or if the call numbers are different. You can also choose to import only matching records. The default match action tells Surpass what to do with the imported records if it finds that it matches an existing record. You can change this for individual records in the preview and approve step of the import process, but this action will be the default for all matching records. Add as a new title, the imported record will be imported as a new separate title and the existing record will be untouched. Add a new holding to a record that's already in your database. Add a holding and replace existing information. This match action is useful when your existing records are not complete or if the imported records might contain more up-to-date cataloging information. Replace existing information. The existing record's MARC information is replaced with the imported record. This match action is useful when you have done processing on your existing records outside of Surpass Cloud and want to update your MARC record with new information. This option is used most often with the Match Records by Barcode Number matching option above. You can also specify whether or not to update the local holdings information in your existing records. Skip the record without doing anything, and delete an existing record. The matched record is not imported, and the record from your database that is matched is deleted or changed to withdrawn status depending on whether there is any circulation history. Once you have chosen your settings, click Next. In Part 2, we will upload a file, go through the review process, and finally, the import.